You know, you got some people in your church that you just don't mess with. You don't mess with them because they're just brutal. You know, we had this evangelist come through our church a few years back, and he's giving his scriptures and telling everybody what he's going to preach about. And while he's doing this, we had a lady in the church stand up, and she needed to run to the ladies' room, so she stood up, and he's about to start preaching, and she walks out of the sanctuary. As she's walking out, the young evangelist thought he was going to be cute and say, "Hey, sister, you don't have to leave. I'm not going to preach that hard." And she turns around and shakes her finger at him. And he didn't think anything of it. Well, he preached his sermon. After church was over, pastor came to the evangelist and said, "You know, you could have probably done that to anybody you wanted to except for her." See, that's Sister Jackson. And many people have learned through the years not to mess with Sister Jackson. He said, "Oh, whatever, you know." So they go about the day the revival's going on. We have a few more nights of it. And then one night, Sister Jackson decides to go to the church a little early. She gets to the sanctuary. She goes over to the thermostat and turns it up just a couple of notches. Not where anybody who's just sitting on the platform, relaxing, listening to a preacher, they're not going to have any problem. The guy that's going to have the problem is the one that's up jumping, hooting, and hollering. So he starts to preach. And he's preaching hard. He's preaching heavy. And he's starting to sweat. And he's starting to sweat a lot. So he's getting his jacket, takes his jacket off and lays it down. He's preaching. He looks over at the pastor. Pastor's not got any problem. He's not sweating. He's just sitting there relaxing. He's like, "Keep preaching. You're doing a good job." So he keeps on preaching. And he's preaching it hard, preaching. He's starting to get really sweaty. So he's loosening up his tie and he's taking his top. He looks over at the pastor thinking, "What's going on?" And the pastor's like, "Good job." So he keeps on preaching. He said, "My gosh, I can't handle this. This is crazy hot." So he walks over to the pulpit and he sees a glass of water in the pulpit. So he reaches over, he gets down off the shelf, he pulls it. He started drinking. Oh, that water felt so good going down. And he hears a bunch of people laughing over in the first couple of pews. So he stops and he's just looking out there, all drenched in sweat, doesn't know what's going on. And he looks into the glass. There's a goldfish in the glass. Ladies and gentlemen, don't mess with Sister Jackson.